As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
See. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yeah.
Is the sound quality okay?
Wa alaikum assalam.
Yes, very good.
Brother Asim, mashallah.
Alhamdulillah. Today I said I wasn't going to miss it, inshallah.
Good job, good job. Okay, we'll
How
just
are
get
you?
up. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Just catching up. We're almost there. Okay, so let's see. Mashallah, 9 people so far. Just give them a quick second. People are joining. Okay. All right. All right, we'll start inshallah and see how people trickle in. So nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem, amma ba'd, a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Qala Allahu ta'ala, inna hudallahi huwal huda. Wa qala Rasulullahi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, khayrukum man ta'allama al-Qur'ana wa allama. Sadaqallahu al-azim wa sadaqa rasuluhul kareem. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Waj'alhu li imaman wa nuran wa hudan wa rahma waj'alhu li hujjatan ya rabbil alameen. I guess 1 or 2 people have their mic on. If they can mute, because I can hear some children in the background. Okay. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim bil khair. Ameen ya rabbil alameen. So assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, everyone.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Alhamdulillah, once again, with the extreme mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are going to continue our lessons. And alhamdulillah, you can feel that time is flying. We are on the second last session today. So we have one more session next week, and then inshallah we are going to break for Ramadan. And if you guys been paying attention or realizing it, that mashallah, we have learned a lot of little things, but they are becoming a part of or a piece of a bigger picture. So how many people feel that way, that they have picked up a lot of vocabulary and a lot of understanding?
Yes, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, and on the same token, I'm very hopeful that each one of you is very much connected to the Quran now in a different way. I mean, I'm sure you were connected with the Quran before, but now the connection is different. How many people can second that?
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
So what we are doing today and for the next session, we have started we are making sentences, right? And we learned a lot of things about the sentences. And the very main important thing about a sentence was the formula, the recipe, that the jumla is 2 parts. And we're going to go over that right now, and we're going to do a quick review. Then I'll give you some more insights into the sentence today. We'll make some more sentences together, and it will increase our knowledge and give us the practice. Okay. So I'm going to start with a question. Who can tell me, and you know, you have the option to raise hand if you want, or I can pick somebody. So in Arabic, we have murakkab, yeah? And we have how many kind of murakkab in Arabic, or how many kinds we have learned so far?
2.
Okay, so Brother Naseeb, you said 2. So can you give us the name of the categories?
The complete one, murakkab tāmm, and the incomplete one, murakkab nāqiṣ.
Okay, very good job. Okay, so Sister Amirunisa, what is murakkab nāqiṣ. How would you define murakkab nāqiṣ?
Murakkab nāqiṣ.
Okay, so if you
I don't know about the murakkab nāqiṣ. I can tell about
okay.
murakkab
So-
tāmm.
Okay, murakkab tāmm you know, but murakkab nāqiṣ you don't know. Okay, so what do you know about murakkab tāmm?
Murakkab tāmm is of two types.
Is-
Nominal, jumla ismiya, and verbal sentence.
Verbal sentence. Okay.
Yeah.
But what is the
Jumla
quality? What is the quality of the murakkab tāmm? Like, what is the one thing you know about murakkab tāmm which differentiates it from murakkab nāqiṣ? Brother Naseeb said it in
Murakkab-
his. Yeah, murakkab tāmm is a. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, if you don't know, that's all right. Okay, so Brother Naseeb, could you elaborate when you said murakkab tāmm is a complete one? What does that mean?
So a complete sentence will have a subject and predicate, mubtada and khabar, and it has to make sense.
And it is a complete meaning, right? Like
Yes.
he is a student, meaning that is a complete sentence. If I say this pen, that is not a complete sentence. So Sister Amirunisa, as murakkab nāqiṣ are phrases or
Yeah, incomplete
fragments.
sentences.
They are incomplete in meaning, and the murakkab tāmm is complete in meaning. And when something is complete in meaning, we call it a jumla, and jumla mean a sentence. And then you said a murakkab tāmm has two sentences, jumla ismiya and jumla fi'liya.
Yeah.
And we are learning jumla ismiya. Very good job. Thank you. Jazakallah. So, Brother Javed, when we have a jumla ismiya, how many parts a jumla ismiya has?
Jumla ismiya has two parts.
Okay.
One is mubtada and the other is khabar.
Okay. So, what is so special about mubtada? Why we call it mubtada?
Mubtada, this is called, this is ism, and this is the special ism, like type of, like
It's the starting noun, right?
Yeah, starting noun, and
That is why you call it mubtada, because this is where it begins with. And since we are dealing with jumla ismiya, are we dealing with nouns?
yes.
So the criteria is that it starts with a noun.
Noun, yeah.
And that starting noun is known as mubtada. And then we have some qualities of this mubtada. So, Sister Homa, what are the four qualities we look for when we are making
A sentence?
Yeah, or what are the four qualities of a noun? The four properties of a noun we have been learning from day one. When you think of a noun, the four things come to your mind. What are those four things?
A noun is gender, number, type, and gender, number, type, and status.
And status. Jazakallah khair. So does these four properties play any role when you're making a sentence?
Yes, it does.
Right. So they play an important role, right? And the right combination of these properties will bring a jumla, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have two things, mubtada and we have khabar. Yes. So what is the type of mubtada? What will be the type of mubtada? What kind of, yeah.
So mubtada will be marfu and marifa.
Marifa. So what is the type known as marifa?
Marifa.
Yes. Marfu is the status, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the gender and number, what is it going to do?
It can be both male or female.
Follow the khabar will follow the mubtada for the gender and the number. Now, Brother Tahir, what are the two qualities of the mubtada which are going to play a role in the combination for making a jumla ismiya? So what is the type and status of the khabar? What's supposed to be the status and what's supposed to be the type of the khabar?
So the khabar is nakira.
Khabar is nakira,
And,
very good.
And the rest of the qualities, it follows the mubtada. So if it is rafa, it is rafa. The gender will be the same. The number will be the same.
Very good job. Jazakallah khair. So is everybody clear on these concepts so far?
Yes.
Okay. So what else I want to say? Okay, so let's just review this information one more time, and then I can ask you more questions while I'm looking at it. So we are dealing with murakkab, a compound, which is more than two words, right? Or a combination of two words. And there is murakkab nāqiṣ, which is incomplete phrases. And then there is murakkab tāmm, which is the complete sentence. In the murakkab tāmm, we have two kind of sentences, jumla ismiya or jumla fi'liya. Okay. And in this class, we are focusing on jumla ismiya. So what is a sentence? Sentence is a group of words. Group of words mean it is a murakkab, right? Murakkab of words. Another word for murakkab we use was group, right? And in such a group of words which make complete sense. For example, we say Muhammad is a student. Hamid is sick. Yes. So this keyword is the glue which is making it a complete sentence. Agree? Okay. So the core ingredients of any sentence are a subject and a predicate, right? The subject names a person, a place, or a thing we are talking about. Now, is the subject supposed to be a noun? Is the subject?
Yes.
For nominal, yes.
Right? Because we are dealing with the nominal sentence. So keep that. The reason I asked this kind of question, just to juggle your memory, that since we are dealing with nominal sentence, the answer is yes, because subject is the starting noun, right? And the detail or the predicate is some detail we are giving you about the subject. Yeah. For example, in this case, the Muhammad is a subject. He is the person we are talking about, and we are telling you the khabar that he is a student. And in the second sentence, Hamid is another subject, and we are telling you that he is sick. So predicate is giving more detail about the subject, and the subject names a person or a place or a thing. Okay. So the predicate makes a statement about the subject. In other words, the predicate is the part of a sentence which expresses what is said about the subject. Yeah, isn't that just what I said? Okay. And in the above two sentences, we have gone over that. So in the Arabic language, there are two kinds of sentences. The one which start with a noun is called jumla ismiya, nominal sentence. And the one which begins with a verb, which a fail, is called a verbal sentence, al-jumlatul fi'liya. Okay. A simple nominal sentence of the form. For example, if I give you the example, Zaidun alimun. Zaid is a scholar. Fatimatu alimatun. And Fatima is a female scholar. And al-waladu zakiyun. What does that mean? The boy, al-waladu means the boy. Zaki is intelligent. So this combination of marifa, nakira makes the is present in this sentence. See, is al-waladu marifa?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Right? Zakiyun is nakira, right?
Yeah.
One is common and one is proper. The subject has to be proper. Yeah. Okay. Al-bintu jamilatun. Now in here, the top two examples, we are taking the alam category. Is alam the category of a proper noun?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And when you don't have that and you have a regular word, then how can you make it proper? By adding the al. So waladun is nakira. Al-waladu becomes marifa. Agree? So this is the mu'arraf bil lam category of the type for proper nouns. Al-bintu jamilatun. The girl is beautiful. So over here, the male gender, follows the male gender, and the female gender will follow the female gender. And the number also is following each other, singular, singular, and they're all singular examples, right? So just like in English, a nominal sentence in Arabic has two parts: subject, which is known as al-mubtada, and the predicate al-khabar. Yeah. So the noun with which the nominal sentence begins is called mubtada. Now, repeating this information is useful because it will make this concept stick in your brain, because anytime I say mubtada, I want your brain to calculate few things right away, right? So it's a starting noun. That is the name. Even the name mubtada means this is the starting noun. Yes? Because I have told you many times that when I say Islam, that's the word meaning Islam, the religion of Islam, peace, okay? But the person who follows Islam is known as Muslim. So there is a meme, right? It becomes Muslim. So if there is a word called ibtada, which means the start, then the thing which starts it will be mubtada. Yes? If we say traveler, safar, or safara, so that means he traveled, or safar, to travel, then the person who travels will become musafir. Yes, right? So that's why I'm keep telling you about this. What is the name itself gives the information that this is the starting noun. Yeah. So usually the subject. Okay, let's take a look at some chart. We have done this priorly. So let's take a look if I can. Okay, this chart will help you. That al-kitab is supposed to be. This is the mubtada, al-kitab is the mubtada, and the two important information we need to know about the mubtada is that it's supposed to be marfu, meaning in the status of rafa, and it's supposed to be marifa, meaning it's supposed to be rafa. Marifa means proper. Yes, Brother Tahir.
Brother Abed, just quickly, if you can remind, so for Zaid, we said Zaidun, but for Fatima, we said Fatima too. So
Okay.
Where did we study that? I'm not recalling it.
Actually, we did not study that lecture yet. And inshallah, I intend to take it after Ramadan when we resume. We'll go to that chapter because it is related to the status.
Okay.
There is another branch of status where these new variation comes. But since I noticed that most of us are still struggling with the status as is, I didn't want it to introduce the new layer of complexity.
Okay,
and
no
I will probably do it when you are more ready for that. So inshallah, in the next session, after Ramadan, we will resume. Then we will inshallah talk about that. But just to answer your question, there are certain names. There is a category in the Arabic grammar called flexibility. Flexibility is related to the status. Okay. In the area of flexibility, there are two branches. One of them is flexible and one of them is non-flexible. So far with me? So if there is a flexible tree, then there are two branches, fully flexible and non-flexible. Okay. In the fully flexible, there are two more branches, which is one is fully flexible and one is partly flexible. In the partly flexible, there are a bunch of categories where these rules are specified that certain names such as Zaidun will have the status of Zaidun with the Rafa. But some names like Ibrahim, because it's a non-Arabic name, it will be Ibrahimu in the Rafa and Ibrahima in the Nasab and Jar category. Right? So this is a separate branch of science we need to learn, but I'm just giving you high level. So similarly, the name of Arabic women, Al-Fatima, will never have Fatimatun. It will have Fatimatu, Fatimata, Fatimata. Is that good enough explanation for now?
That's very good. Thank you. Jazakallah.
So what is the nominal sentence structures telling us? That the first noun is mubtada, the starting noun is mubtada, and it is supposed to be rafa, and when something is in the status of rafa is known as marfu. And the second part is supposed to be proper noun, marifa. So you can see the 5 categories of marifa we learned. This is mu'arraf bil lam, because we have added the al to the noun. But haza, is haza ismu ishara?
Yes.
Okay, so is ismu ishara marifa?
Yes.
Good. So a khabar, correct? Jadidun is the khabar, right? Let's take a look. Is this khabarun? This is al-mubtada and khabar, right? Jadidun. Is jadidun nakira?
Yeah.
Yes. And it is still rafa because it's a singular noun. So singular nouns are known by or determined by the last letter, and the haraka dammatan will give you the rafa status. Agree? Okay. All right. So look at this example. Okay. So Muslim boy. The Arabic of Muslim is Muslimun, and the Arabic of boy is waladun. And in Arabic, do we write everything by default in the status of rafa?
Yeah.
So Muslimun, waladun. Now, if you look at the type of both waladun and Muslimun is nakira. So they are not proper noun. These are common noun. Waladun mean a boy. Muslimun, a Muslim. Yeah. And what is the hala? They are both in the status of rafa. So far with me, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, if we look at the jins, Muslimun is mudakkar and waladun is mudakkar. And then adad is singular, wahid and wahid. Correct? So this is an incomplete sentence. This is an incomplete sentence. Yes, agree?
Yeah.
There is no is, Muslim boy. But if I want to say something like this, I want to say the boy is Muslim, then look at the 4 properties. Muslimun and al-waladu. Why al-waladu? Because how would you translate the boy in Arabic?
Al-waladu.
Al-waladu, because this da will come with the al. Agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Now look at the type. Is al-Muslimun still nakira?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is al-waladu now marifa?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. Are they still both rafa?
Yes.
Because al-waladu is rafa and Muslimun is rafa. Agree? And jins, mudakkar, and wahid. Right? So this is coming by this combination of marifa nakira, and also we need
मैसेज भेज दिया पिज्जा पार्टी का.
Okay. So any questions on this, guys? Any questions on this? Is the concept clear now?
Yeah.
So,
Yes, it is.
okay, good. So now what I want to take this up to a little different concept so that you guys can compare and contrast. So if we go to my camera, and can you guys see it clearly? Okay. So we said, let's say if I call the sentence, this is a pen. Is that a complete sentence?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So anything before the is the mubtada,
Yeah.
Yes.
right? And anything after that is the khabar. Yeah. Okay. So first thing we do, we are going to put it in our table the way we did it. For example, we'll say mubtada and khabar. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is this is mubtada?
Yeah.
Right? What is the translation of this?
Also.
هذا
Because now I'm giving you the example of Ismul Ishara.
إشارة
Is Ismul Ishara Marifa?
معرفة.
Yes. Marifa.
Right? So is this a good candidate for Mubtada?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, because Mubtada is supposed to be Marifa, correct? Okay.
Yes.
Now, before I put Haza here, the pen, do I know anything about the pen? Like, what is the number of the pen?
Single.
One.
Single, Wahid. Yes?
Yeah.
And is pen we consider male in Arabic or female?
Male.
Male. Okay. So I know that if it's a singular male, then the singular male ishara will be Haza. Agree?
Yeah.
Okay. And the pen is
Salamun.
كلام.
Kalamun. Okay. So Haza is Rafa and Kalamun is Rafa. I'll tell you why it is Rafa. So Kalamun, Rafa, we have no issues with that, correct? Yes, Kalamun is Rafa, right?
رفع.
I'll give you the details on this one. Now, is it Marifa? Is Haza Marifa?
Yeah.
Yes.
And the Kalamun is?
لكن.
Right? It is Wahid and it is Wahid. Yeah?
Yeah.
It is Mudakkar and this is Mudakkar. So far with me, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Mubtada Khabar. Haza Kalamun. So what is this meaning? This is a pen. Is that a complete sentence?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. This pen. What is this? Is this complete or incomplete?
Incomplete.
Yes?
Incomplete.
Everybody says this is incomplete?
Yes, it's a
Yes.
Good. So this is a phrase. I mean, this is not a sentence. This is a phrase. Now, when we dealt with that, we call it murakkab.
nāqiṣ.
Okay. We know 4 kind of murakkab, which we are going to learn. One of them will be
توصيف.
murakkab jari. Okay. The second one, we will learn murakkab ishari. Okay. Third one, murakkab tawsifi. Okay. Number 4, murakkab izafi. Got it? Now, look at the names. If I say jari, did we look at something called harufe jara?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So the example of murakkab jari will be minal bayt. Got it?
yes.
Example of murakkab jari. Got it? Murakkab ishari, does this sound like ismul ishara?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ismul ishara, right? So it will have something like haza
Salamun.
kalamun, right? But we will talk about that. Haza kalamun is a complete sentence. So it can be haza kalamun, right? Murakkab tawsifi, it has a quality. So just to give you an example, if I say good boy, did I give you a quality of a noun?
Yeah.
Quality could be an attribute, not called quality. Let's say an attribute. It could be good or bad. I could say, naughty boy or bad boy. So good boy, right? And murakkab izafi example will be, for example, Allah's messenger. So far, so good?
Yes.
Okay. So, if this is clear, these are the 4 murakkabat we are going to learn, inshallah. And today I'm going to focus on murakkab ishari because our subject is this, like mubtada, the haza. Haza is a murakkab ishari. So I want to tell you that in here we had this is a pen, and over here we have this pen. So is missing. Is missing from here?
Yeah.
Right?
You got cut off.
Brother Abid, there is also a missing, right? Which makes it a proper noun, isn't it?
Okay. No. Is meaning as one pen, right?
Yes.
So that's how we say it in English. When you say
But if
pen,
we say this
pen.
is pen, that would
it is
still
nakira, not marifa.
no nakira. But will that be a complete sentence then? If we say this is pen,
This is missing, right? This
Yes.
a pen make a complete sentence, right? You need to have the
Yes.
is in, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So if we are talking about murakkab ishari, similar to a jumla, we are going to have two parts. Okay. So we will have ism ishara. Yes. And the thing we are pointing to, the thing we point to is known as musharun ilay. Ilay. Alif. Ilay. So this is the pointer. And this is going to pointing to. Okay. So if you take the example, this pen. Yeah. So which is the ishara? Yes. And pointing to what?
Pen.
Pen. So this is ism ishara. This is
Brother
Ijaz. We can hear you, brother Ijaz. Okay, did he muted himself now? Okay, I think he did. Okay, are we clear on ismu ishara and musharun ilay?
Yeah.
Everyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. All right. So the rules are for type, the ism ishara and musharun ilay. The type has to be, now haza, what is the type of haza? Actually, it has to follow in the type, status, number, and gender. All four properties, they follow each other. Follow each other. What did I say here? That ismu ishara and musharun ilay, murakkab ishari, in all the four properties of the noun, they are going to follow each other. Are you
getting cut off?
in the sentence? Or can you hear me or you can't hear me?
Sometimes.
But can you repeat what you just said?
Okay. I said that murakkab ishari, the ismu ishara, the two parts, ismu ishara and musharun ilay, for the all four properties of noun, they follow each other.
Okay, Jazakallah.
Okay, so what that means? So if I say this pen, so the Arabic of this will be haza. Agree?
Yes.
Okay. And the Arabic of the pen is kalam. I'm not putting any harakas yet. Okay. Now, what is we are after? We are saying this pen. If haza is marifa, yes, is haza marifa?
Yeah, haza marifa and mubtada.
Haza is marifa, right? Then they have to follow each other, right? So then if the kalam follows the marifa rule, then it will become
Kalamun.
it become al-kala. You see that what happens now?
Yeah.
Because of this murakkab ishari, we have to prepare first the musharun ilay. Musharun ilay will follow the ismu ishara with all four properties with it. So if I'm saying haza is marifa, so it will become al-kalamu. Is haza wahid?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Is kalamun wahid?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. This is mudakkar?
Yes.
And this is mudhakkar, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So now look what happened. Hazal kalamu. Hazal kalamu. Where the verses we had haza kalamun. What was the translation of haza kalamun?
This is
This,
What was
this pen.
no.
This is a pen.
This is a pen.
Right? This is a pen. So when you want to say this is a pen, you say haza kalamun, because marifa nakira, rafa. You follow? But when you come to murakkab ishari, you said this pen and you remove the is, you said hazal kalamu. What do you
This
say?
is the pen.
No. That is what I'm trying to explain.
This pen.
Okay.
Because it has to follow all.
The word we are after is this pen. Is that clear? Okay. Now, we said this pen is a phrase and we call it murakkab ishari. Are we agreeing on that first?
Yes.
Is this a murakkab ishari?
Yes.
Pointing to something. So these two parts are known as ism ishara and musharun ilay. Ilay kya hota hai? Towards. Musharun mean ishara, to, pointing to. Yes, there is a ishara and that ishara is pointing to something. So if we put this information in this format, this will be haza. Agree?
Yes.
Okay. Pen will be kalamun.
Al kalamu to the pen ban jayega. This the pen hum bana rahe hain. Haza kalamu.
Yes. So ab dekhein, when you are going to grow into a language, you have to learn the rules of the language, and this is what they are telling us, that when you have haza, now you have to follow the following pattern. The pattern is, when you say da kalam, is da kalam marifa?
Yes.
Think about it. Is da kalam marifa? Is proper?
No.
Da kalam is
Yes, the kalam is marfa.
Da kalam is marfa, right? Okay, so when we are learning murakkab ishari, they're saying that isme ishara and musharun alayh will follow each other in all four properties of the noun. What are the four properties of noun?
Gender, status.
Gender, number, type, status.
Number, type, status, right?
Yes.
Okay. G. So what about haza? What is the status of, what is the gender, the type of haza? Is it rafa?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So agar, if the murakkab ishara, the musharun alayh has to follow ismu ishara, doesn't the kalam will become marifa or rafa?
Yes.
How do you the kalamun rafa?
Yes.
Sorry. How you make the kalamun?
Hazal kalam.
So you will say al kalamu, right?
Yes.
Al kalamu, not al kalamu, right? So this is now, I should have said marifa. That's what's throwing everybody off. Marifa, and now this is marifa. Yes. So hazal kalamu will become this pen. So you are not going to say, can you say this pen? Is this going to sound good? If you say this pen, are you already saying to a specific, about a specific pen?
Yeah.
Yes.
So is it marifa? I mean, is it already proper?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So do you have to say, this da pen?
No.
If you do literal translation, you will say this da pen.
Yeah, but that sounds wrong.
The pen.
The pen.
However, on the other side, when you say this is a pen, oh, I'm having some internet issues. That's why.
Yes, that's
okay. Can you hear me now? this
Yes,
is
can you
Yeah, we can hear
can
you.
you just repeat what you said last? Just like a
Okay.
minute.
So I said this is murakkab ishari, incomplete phrase, and we need to follow the rules given to us by the grammar, the people who made the grammar. And they're saying that murakkab ishari will always have two parts. One will be ismu ishara and the other will be musharun alayh. Now, ismu ishara will be first and musharun alayh will be second. And they're saying that the four properties of the nouns, they both have to follow each other. And musharun alayh is, or if I say the musharun alayh has to follow ismu ishara in all four properties. So haza we know is marifa. Agree?
Agree.
Haza is marifa. So if I have kalamun, I would have to change that into al-kalamu.
Al-Salaam.
Kalam become marifa. Agree?
Yeah.
Agree.
And the dhamma is saying this is rafa. And haza is rafa, take my word for it. I'll tell you why it's rafa in a minute. Okay, and then haza is singular, kalam is singular. Haza is male, and so this combination, when we follow the combination according to the rules of Arabic grammar, the translation will become this pen. And when Brother Mansoor said that al-kalamu means da pen, I agree. But if you say this da pen, you will never find that in the Arabic or English translation anywhere. You would say this pen. But if you think logically, this is already make this pen a specific pen, right? It's not any pen. It's saying this pen. Like if I say this pen, am I pointing to a specific pen? Yes. So that is already, that means it's murakkab ishari, and you need to start to identify these things when you know this knowledge. When you say this is a pen, you are still saying haza kalamun. Now over here, this is a sentence. Is this a sentence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So the kalamun stayed kalamun, and this, because this is nakira and haza is
Marifa.
This combination, because of the rule of the jumla ismiya, that mubtada has to be marifa, but the khabar has to be nakira. Just a
We lost you again.
if you say this is a pen, is correct. If you say this pen, this is wrong. Over here, if you say this is a pen, wrong. Actually, this is a phrase called this pen. Are you guys with me so far?
So, Brother Abid, murakkab ishari is a phrase and not a complete sentence. Is that what you're saying?
So that's what I was saying, that today I'm trying to give you a contrast into murakkab nāqiṣ. Remember, we started with murakkab tāmm.
Yeah, okay.
Right? So after you understood murakkab tāmm, and I have been even in my presentation, I was bringing some examples for you guys. So today I wanted to introduce to you murakkab nāqiṣ. And I said the murakkab nāqiṣ has 4 murakkabat. Murakkab jari, and from the name you would understand the jari mean haruf-e jara. For example, minal bayti. So this is not a complete sentence. Minal bayti is a fragment. And what kind of fragment? Murakkab jari. So when we come to murakkab jari, we will learn the rules of murakkab jari. Okay. Murakkab ishari is from the name. You can see ishara is demonstrative pronoun. Yes. So haza kalamun or hazal kalamu, meaning it's a phrase called murakkab ishari. Murakkab tawsifi, we define an attribute of a noun, and we will come to that inshallah in a later section. And murakkab izafi, when you are creating an ownership or relationship. So Allah's messenger, this is going to be a murakkab izafi construction. So with that, I said, when we were making sentences, we have to take the 5 categories of marifa, of the proper nouns, which are namely alam, damir, ism ishara, ism mausula, and mu'arraf bil. In the last session, we looked at specifically at the dhamir. We said huwa muslim, huwa, huma muslimani, and hum muslimuna. Today, and those were candidates for mubtada. So today my next candidate for mubtada was ismu ishara. Is demonstrative pronoun marifa?
Yes.
So it's a good candidate for, okay. So if it's a good candidate for mubtada, correct?
Yes.
So I wanted to take that opportunity to explain to you that how this haza, when it's used in a sentence, what is the recipe for that? And when you need murakkab ishari, then how it differs. Okay. So if I say haza Muslimun, who can translate for me?
This is a Muslim.
This agree? Okay. Hazani.
You're breaking up. You freeze.
Okay. Hazani. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Hazani Muslimani. Who can translate this
These
for
two
me?
are Muslims.
Two men.
Okay. These two male are Muslims. Okay. Now look at this. Ha. Okay. How do we write this? Ha ulai, right? How do we write that? I forgot. Ha ulai.
Ha wow.
Wow आएगी हाँ खा के बाद.
Okay. Ha.
हाँ wow.
Ha is Hamza after that.
Ha wow lam alif la.
Like the ha ulai, right? Ha ulai. Something like that. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So ha ulai muslimuna. Got it? Now who can translate this one?
These men are Muslims.
All men, not women.
Men. Ha ulai men or women, but we are talking about men right now. So because it's muslimuna. So these men are Muslims. Right? Now, are these complete sentences?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what is so special about this? Haza marifa. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nakira.
Nakira.
Haza rafa, Muslimun rafa. Agree? So this is the Muslim. Is it a murakkab tāmm or murakkab nāqiṣ? Murakkab tāmm. Okay. If I say now, haza al-muslimu. What is this? Who can translate this?
This Muslim.
This Muslim.
Muslim.
Is
this a murakkab tāmm or murakkab nāqiṣ?
Nāqiṣ.
Murakkab nāqiṣ. Okay, so this is what I wanted to highlight to you today, that how you can now easily differentiate between a sentence and a murakkab. And for that, you need to know the rules. For the jumla ismiya, the mubtada and khabar are the two parts. For murakkab ishari, the two parts are ismu ishara or musharun alayh. They have some specific combinations. Haza khabar supposed to be nakira. Haza is supposed to be rafa and khabar supposed to be rafa. However, in the murakkab ishari, the musharun alayh follows the ismu ishara in all four types. If haza is ismu ishara, we know ismu ishara is marifa, then the musharun alayh has to be converted into marifa. Yes? Okay. Now, at this point, we have to understand one more concept. When we say haza, yes.
Brother Abid, sorry, just one question before you move on, or maybe this is like an advanced topic, I don't know. But like, for example, whereas in a sentence, like which is this is a Muslim, if we wanted to say this is the Muslim, then how would we say it?
This is the Muslim?
Yes, if it's like...
Okay.
in particular you're trying
not
to
say that because this
we
is the Muslim.
cannot. So
Yeah,
you
we
will
probably
not
won't
you
say.
will not have that because of the sentence will not because it won't be nakira then the other one. I mean the subject
We
would
can
be.
write it down and we can analyze it, like by putting the rules together, and that's the best way to visualize it. But right now, the point I want to highlight for most people, which is sort of a rule of a tajweed also, that look, haza has a alif which has a sukun on it, right?
Yes.
And then there is a al-Muslim, then there is a sukun here. In the Arabic Rasmul Khat, there will be a hamza.
Hamzatul, yeah.
This is a hamzatul wasl. So when you have two letters sakina right next to each other, then they become silent. So you're not going to say haza al-Muslimu. You will say hazal
Muslimu.
Right? So if there was, for example, if there was not haza, then you will say al-Muslimu. Yes?
Yes, yes.
Right? But you have haza. Now what do you do with the extra alif here? You have the sukoon here and the sukoon here. So you are going to say them. You're not going to pronounce them. You will say hazal Muslim. This za will connect with the al. Because this al, basically, why do we call it murraf bil lam?
Because of the
is technically the lam we are dealing with, not the alif, right? But sometimes when you say, if I say lil li kitab, something like that, can you pronounce li kitab? It's very hard.
Yes,
so you say al, because this al, this hamzatul wasl, make it easy for you to say al kitab. But if there was haza before it, this alif was not needed, or this alif was not required, or it will become silent. Yes. If I say haza, what happened to me today? I can't even write. Al-kitab.
Haza kitab.
No, I'm saying hazal kitab.
Hazal kitab.
Hazal kitabu, right? So there is a hamza here and there is hamza. So we would have to ignore them and we
ignore the two alifs.
And we will call it hamzatul wasl, and we don't have to pronounce it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brother, just one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this concept of murakkab ishari is a bit confusing for us because it's the opposite of English. So in English, when we say that will make it proper, but in here it comes out of proper when you put al on it. So that's why it's a bit confusing. But
I understand, but if we look at the sentence and the way we are looking at it, for example, this is already proper. Yes.
Yes.
And when you say da pen, what is your intention? You're trying to talk about a specific pen, correct?
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
this has the same meaning.
Yeah. So if I say this da pen, I was giving the example earlier. If I say this pen, and then if it's kalam al-kalamu, then I would say this da pen. It doesn't sound according to the normal English we speaking. Yes.
Which means if you say that or this, it means the same thing.
But if I say this pen is also meaning it is something proper, something specific. Yes, I'm talking about a specific pen because I'm pointing to a specific pen, right? So let's not get too worried about those little things. But imagine this this new knowledge you got now, that you can tell the difference between a sentence and the incomplete phrase. And remember the rules that in murakkab ishari, what are the two parts? Ismu ishara and musharun ilay. Now remember the rule of meme. We said mubtada. Why said we say mubtada? Because the actual word was ibtada. But when something starts something, we call that starting thing mubtada. So over here, the word is ishara. The ishara is supposed to point to something. The thing it points to in Arabic is known as musharun ilay. Same thing, a person who follows Islam is known as Muslim, right? A person who's traveling is known as musafir. Yes. And similarly, this, when we say ma'bud, the actual word is ibadah, right? Ibadah means to worship. but the person you worship or the entity you worship is known as ma'bud. Why? There is a meme there. Yes. So musharun is the thing you are pointing to. The ishara is pointing to the musharun. Ilay,
just like mudaf and mudaf.
right? Pointing to, right? Ilay to. Ila al masjidi, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing, ilay, which means the ishara is pointing to what? In this case, the ishara is haza, but it's pointing towards the kalam. Agree? So the kalam will be in Arabic, will known as musharun ilay, and the haza will known as ismu ishara. So when we are making a murakkab ishari, we will follow the rules that we have to prepare the musharun ilay first. And musharun ilay in all four properties of the noun, which is the gender, number, type, and status, will follow the ismu ishara. And ismu ishara by default is rafa, is a marifa. So the musharun ilay has to be marifa. So if you put this information in your brain like this, then I just need to follow the rules. And then I put things on a piece of paper. When I do that, it starts to make more sense until a time will come when you can process this in your brain directly and you don't have to write it on a piece of paper. Everybody agrees on that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, even though it's a new concept, but even if you get 50% out of it today, and by the time we finish the session tonight by doing more example, inshallah, you will start to see the big picture. Yeah?
Inshallah.
Okay. So right now is 10:57. I think it's a good time to take a break. Let's meet at 11:07 and inshallah 10-minute break. And then we will I'll show you some more sentences so that you will start to see the big picture inshallah. Okay, Jazakallah khairan. I'll see you in a little bit. So don't leave the meeting, just mute yourself and I'll see you in a shortly. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Okay, so is everyone back? If you give me a quick heads up so that I can go ahead and start. Is everyone back yet?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
brother.
Yes.
All right. So
Yes, back.
what we are going to, I want to give you a sneak peek into our future lessons, and I also will give you an example of this, at least one of them today. So look at this chart. You know, the role of phrases in a nominal sentence. So in a nominal sentence, we have mubtada and khabar, right?
Yeah.
Singular nouns. For example, we said huwa muslimun. Huwa is singular, muslimun is singular. And it's like one word. Yeah. But if we have to use phrases, then what will be the role of phrases in a nominal sentence? Right? So the nominal sentence has a mubtada and a khabar. So if I take murakkab ishari, a murakkab ishari in a nominal sentence can be used as mubtada and not as khabar. You understand what I'm talking about here? Okay, a murakkab ishari can be used in as a mubtada, but it cannot be used as a khabar. On the other hand, if I take a murakkab tawsifi, I can use it as mubtada and I can also use it as khabar. Okay. Similarly, murakkab izafi, I can use as mubtada and I can use as khabar. When it comes to murakkab jari, I cannot use it as mubtada, but I can use it as a khabar. Okay. So this is a high level introduction. What it exactly means, I'll show you some examples of murakkab ishari today, but after Ramadan, when we resume and we look more detail into these things, you will understand what I'm talking about. Are you good so far? Okay.
I'm trying to make notes, although you're sharing, but can you leave that on there, please?
Okay, let me get rid of this. I can't, my internet is not working properly. Okay. Here, can you see it?
No. No.
Cannot.
Now we can see.
Can see it. Now we can.
Okay. There is something seriously wrong with the internet today.
Too much rain.
Yeah, could be. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I'm done.
Okay, good. All right. So I'm trying to get rid of this camera. All right. Now let's take a look at this. And this is a review. And we looked at this when we did the demonstrative pronouns. Okay. And this will sound very familiar. So look at this now. The demonstrative pronouns, ismul ishara, is a noun used to demonstrate or point at object or person. Yeah. And the plural is types of it. One of them was lil kareeb and one of them was lil ba'id. Yeah. And then we looked at this chart, and this will Brother Taj, I need to turn down the volume a little bit. I can hear myself back. Okay, let's see. I think you are the only one, and Brother Nasib are their mouths, their mics are open. I can hear myself back. Okay. Now, the Kareeb one was Haza for male, Hazani for two, and Haulai for Jama. For the feminine, we had Hazihi, Hatani, and haulai. Then for the distant one, we had zalika, we have zanika, and we have ulaika for the distant one. And similarly for the female, we had tanika, tilka, tanika, and ulaika. Is that bringing everything in your memory back now? This is the Asma'ul Ashara we looked at in the past. Okay, now look at the examples now. We have done these examples in the past, but now these examples will make more sense. Look at this one. For the Qarib one, we says Hadha Baytun Jamilun. Okay. What is the meaning of this?
This is a beautiful house.
Beautiful house. Okay. Now, even though we have not learned Murakkab Tawsifi, but in Murakkab Tawsifi, did I say that it tells you an attribute of a noun? So is Baytun, is it nakira or marifa? Baytun.
Nakira.
Nakira. Okay, and is Haza nakira or marifa?
Marifa.
And look at the translation. This is a beautiful house. Yes. So anything before the is mubtada, correct?
Yes.
Is Haza mubtada?
Yeah.
Yes.
Does it have the ingredients to become a mubtada? What is the one quality it's supposed to have to become mubtada?
It's pressure.
No. It is supposed to be
Marifa. Supposed to be marifa.
Mubtada is supposed to be marifa. So is Haza my mubtada here?
Yes. Yes.
And if I didn't have the Jamilun here, is supposed to be Haza Baytun. Haza Baytun means this is a house, right?
Yeah.
Let me see. Okay. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say here. So the Jamilun is I'm saying this is a beautiful house. Haza Baytun Jamilun. Now in the slide before, did I not say that Murakkab Tawsifi can come in a place of a khabar?
Yes.
Yes.
Murakkab Tawsifi.
Yes, Murakkab Tawsifi can come in the place of the mubtada, and it can also come in the place of khabar, right? Since we are in the very beginning in intro, I always pick the smaller sentence. It said huwa Muslim, haza kitabun, right? But in the later future advanced courses, the sentence could have multiple things, right? More complex things. But if we understand the concept, then it's no different. If I say haza baytun jamilun, that means this is a beautiful house. Can I separate my mubtada and khabar? Haza is my mubtada, baytun jamilun now as a phrase is my khabar. How many people see that? Yes. Now look at the beauty of the next sentence. Hazal baytu jamilun. Okay. Now tell me, what is the translation of Hazal baytu?
This is the beautiful house.
This house is beautiful.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Let's take one person at a time, because this way nobody will understand. So, Sister Lubna, you said this what?
This beautiful house.
This beautiful house. Okay. And Brother Ijaz, you said?
This is the beautiful house.
This is the beautiful house. Now, let's back up a little bit. When we said the pen or this pen, what was our translation? Hazal kalam.
Yeah.
This pen was the translation was Hazal kalamu. Yes. So now think about this. Hazal baytu. Is this a fragment or a complete sentence?
It's a fragment.
And the translation will be this house.
This house is beautiful.
MashaAllah, Brother Fahad. So what happened here? What is my mubtada?
This house.
Hazal baytu. This house, right? Hazal baytu as one unit becomes the mubtada. Now look at the jamilun. Is jamilun nakira?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Hazal baytu is baytu. Remember we said the musharun alayh follow the ismu ishara. Is al-baytu rafa?
Yes.
Okay. Is jamilun rafa?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Haz al-baytu marifa?
Yes.
Right. Is jamilun nakira?
Yes.
Right. So haz al-baytu mean this house is beautiful. Look at the difference on the translation. Haza baytun jamilun
This house.
become murakkab tawsifi. Because murakkab tawsifi is when you define the attributes of a noun. So jamil mean beautiful, and baytun is where it is telling me something about the house. So baytun jamilun becomes murakkab tawsifi, and it will say haza, this house, this is a beautiful house. Brother Ijaz, now do you understand the difference between the two sentences, that how you're going to translate?
Yes.
Okay. So hazal baytu jamilun, it becomes this house is beautiful. Now, if you start to pay attention and you just ask yourself this question and follow the rules, I am not doing anything different than just following the rules, and the translation is coming in front of us. Hazal baytu, this house. Jamilun is beautiful. Hazal baytu mubtada, jamilun khabar. Right? So can murakkab ishari become mubtada?
Yes.
To the chart, the murakkab ishari can come in the place of a mubtada. Agree?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's look at this one.
Brother Abid,
Ji.
question.
Yes.
Can we say Haza Baytul Jamilun?
Haza baytun jamilun?
Haza Baytul Jamilu. Jamilu.
Baytul jamilun. No, that's not going to make sense, right?
Baytul Jamil, not Jamilun. Baytul Jamil.
Okay, so you're saying Baytul Jamil. What are you saying? That is, what is the translation of Baytul Jamil?
This house, this house, beautiful.
No, Baytul Jamil means the house of Jamil. Basically, what you're saying. That
Okay.
murakkab, right? So, inshallah, when we come to know murakkab izafi and more details, then just stick with the current topic we are trying to do. Don't think ahead of us or think ahead of yourself. Just focus on this. Once we grasp this, inshallah, the future things will come and they will start to make sense. Now look at this. Hazihi sayyaratun ghaliyatun. Okay. For a second, think about, there is no ghaliya. Ghaliya is not there. If he says hazihi sayyaratun, Brother Faiz, what will be the translation of hazihi sayyaratun?
This is a car.
This is a car, right? Simple.
Yeah.
You have to tell something else about the car. If you want to say this is an expensive car, so you're going to say hazihi sayyaratun ghaliyatun, right? Ghaliya mean expensive. So what is the
this is an expensive car? Yeah.
car? If you had left it at hazihi sayyaratun, is hazihi marifa?
Yeah.
Okay. Is sayyaratun nakira?
Yeah. Yes.
Right. So the marifa nakira combination give you a sentence?
Yes.
Car, is it giving me the murakkab tawsifi? Is it giving me an adjective of the car?
No, it was just saying this is a car. So there is no quality defined about the car.
Right. But if I bring the ghaliya now in the picture, then that sayyaratun ghaliyatun as a unit, is it murakkab tawsifi?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So the murakkab tawsifi, according to my chart, can become the khabar. Agree?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, I'm going to ask somebody, don't answer until I ask the question. Brother Mansoor, this is hazihi sayyaratu ghaliyatun. Okay. Now look, ghaliyatun, fine. But sayyaratun, as-sayyaratu, and hazihi, state the hazihi. What is the translation of this sentence?
This is an expensive car.
You're reading from here. Hazihi sayyaratun ghaliyatun. That is the
The expensive car then.
What is it?
This expensive car. Just simply this expensive car.
Okay. Now look at this. We need to, our job here, we are dealing with Ismiya, right? Jumla ismiya, we need mubtada and khabar, right? So first thing you need to tell me, what is the mubtada in this sentence and what is the khabar?
Khabar is Ghalia.
Khabar is ghali. Okay. So it's going to come after the is, right? So you're going to say is expensive, right? Ghaliyat.
This
So it will
car
be,
is expensive.
this car is expensive. Now look at this, guys. This
Brother Abi,
car,
it should be هذه سيارة.
it is hazi. This one?
The second one.
It is sayyara.
It is sayyaratu.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm looking at the ra. Sorry.
Okay, no worries. So
Should there be a shadda on the scene here, the first scene of sayyara? Should there be a shadda there?
this one?
The first scene of sayyara, because you're stressing on the scene here.
Yeah, actually the shadda is in the wrong place. It's supposed to be on the scene, you're right. As-sayyara. You're right. This over here, the way he wrote it, it's a little bit off. The thing is supposed to be the shadda should be on the scene. Yes, you're right. Okay, but do you guys see hazihi sayyaratu? Do you see what this is? This is murakkab ishari. Is this murakkab ishari? Hazihi sayyaratu?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now let's take a look at the distant one. Zalika rajulun kareem. Okay, so Sister Homa, can you identify what is the mubtada and what?
Zalika is the mubtada.
Very good. And the khabar is it like a one word or is it a murakkab?
The khabar is murakkab.
And what kind of murakkab from the here you can pick? It is say kareemun. Rajul is
Kareemun, it's murakkab tawsifi.
murakkab tawsifi. So over here zalika is mubtada and the khabar is murakkab tawsifi. So what will be the translation?
That man is Kareemun Sakhi.
Okay, so let's see. That is a nobleman, because rajulun kareemun meaning a nobleman, right? So zalika is the mubtada, is comes after that. So this is rajulun kareemun becomes a nobleman. Yes. Okay. Brother Imran, are you with us today, Brother Imran?
Yeah, As-salamu alaykum.
So look at this. Zalika rajulu kareemun. Zalika rajulu kareemun. In this one, what will be the translation?
That man is noble.
Mashallah, mashallah, mashallah. See, that man is noble. Why did you say that? How did you figure that?
Because Kareem will be the khabar.
Kareem is khabar. Okay, good.
And then Zalika.
Zalikar rajulu, right? Because this is a marifa. And then rajulu becomes marifa because of this. So this is a murakkab. Zalikar rajulu is a murakkab, right?
Yeah.
What kind of murakkab is it? What kind of murakkab is? Because there is a ishara there, right? So yes. A murakkab with a ishara is known as, what is the name of a murakkab with a ishara? Murakkab ishari. Murakkab ishari. So here murakkab ishari, which is zalika rajulu, comes in the place of murakkab. Is kareemun nakira or marifa? Nakira, right? So it is a khabar because of the nakira version, because it is, and zalika rajulu is marifa, correct?
Yeah.
Agree, everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. So you see, zalika rajulun kareemun, that is a nobleman, murakkab tawsifi in the place of khabar, and zalika is the mubtada. Over here, zalika rajulu, murakkab ishari, kareemun khabar, and that is murakkab ishari mubtada. Is everybody able to at least identify these now, even though you might be having? Can I get some quick feedback?
Yes. It
Yes.
is.
Yes.
Study only.
It is becoming more visible to you now, right? Because we did this lesson in session 4. At that time, we went through it from the perspective of that haza, right? We were more focused on haza. We did not pay attention to anything else. We just focused on the haza because we were introducing the ismi ishara of Qareeb and Ba'id. But now we have more knowledge and see these little differences, how they can change the meaning of the sentence. Agree? Right? So now when you need to read Quran next time with these little bits and pieces of the knowledge you got, you will be able to translate better or understand better, right? So let's take a look one more. Sister Oneza, Tilka bintun zakiyatun. Zakiya is intelligent and bint is daughter or girl. So what is the, and you know, somebody can, I can hear myself back. So can somebody turn down the volume if you want to keep your mic not muted? Mr. Amirunisa, okay, you're done. Brother Taj, I think you need to mute your mic. And Sister Lubna, maybe you can also do that and just open it when you need to talk. So Sister Uneza, please, can you translate Tilka bintun zakiyatun?
What did you say the translation for zakiyatun?
Intelligent.
Okay, that is intelligent daughter.
Girl. Bint is
Or
also
girl, sorry, girl.
So Tilka bintun zakiyatun. Very good. Now, tell me the details about this. What else can you give me?
This Tilka bintun is a sentence.
Yeah.
And Tilka is marifa, and bintun is nakira.
Okay, good.
And
Tilka,
sorry,
Tilka,
go ahead.
Tilka mubtada?
Yes, Tilka is mubtada and zakiyatun is khabar.
No, bintun zakiyatun.
Bintun zakiyatun, yes, yes, Murakkabāt tawsifi, and it's a khabar.
Very good job. So you said this is a clever girl or intelligent girl, right? Okay, good.
Yes.
Brother Fahad, Tilkal bintu zakiyatun.
That girl is intelligent.
Okay.
The
Very
Tilkal bintu is the mubtada and zakiyatun is the khabar. Tilkal bintu is murakkab ishari. Murakkab ishari.
I hope with the extension of this answers from the different brothers and sisters, everybody else is also picking up the matter. Okay. So let's see what he's saying. Okay, so now this is a question Brother Tahir asked me once. So let's look at this one. If demonstrative pronoun occurs as subject, mubtada, then the predicate khabar will generally be indefinite. However, if the khabar is also definite, marifa, then a personal pronoun must be added between subject and the predicate. So what does that mean? So haza kitabun. What is the meaning of haza kitabun? This is a book. Now, if I say haza huwal kitabu, you see what happened? Al kitabu, is it? Normally the khabar is nakira, correct?
Yes.
Right? But is there a possibility, there is an exception that a khabar can also be proper? Yes. So we are getting a new detail about the Jumla Ismiya, that even the khabar in some cases can be
proper.
Marifa, proper. There is no way sometime we can't. If I say Haza Zaidun, now think about this. Haza Zaidun. Is Haza Mubtada?
Yes.
Yes. And is Zaidun Khabar?
Yes.
I'm saying this is Zaid, right? Is Haza Marifa?
Yes.
Is Zaidun Marifa?
Yes.
Can I make Zaid Nakira somehow?
No, can't.
because Zaid
alam.
is always going to be marifa, right? So if you have a situation like this, then you have to introduce a pronoun in between, and which is in relationship with the mubtada. Is mubtada haza here? Is it singular?
Yes.
Is it male?
Yes.
Okay. What is the male singular pronoun you think of?
Huwa.
Is huwa the male and singular pronoun?
Yes.
You will say haza huwal kitabu. So look at the meaning on the top. If demonstrative pronoun occurs as subject, this is the case of a demonstrative pronoun. Making sense? This is the case of when we are using haza or any demonstrative pronoun as mubtada. This is a special case for demonstrative pronouns when they come as mubtada. Brother Tahir, are you with us?
Yes, yes.
Are you following this?
Yes.
This is the
Very
question you
much.
asked, right? Okay.
Alhamdulillah.
So then the predicate will generally be indefinite. Normally nothing. However, if the khabar is also definite, which is marifa, then a personal pronoun must be added between the subject and the predicate. Haza huwal kitabu. Making sense? Okay.
Yes.
Now, hazihi hakibatun. This is a bag. Hakiba is a feminine. Now, if I say hazihi al-hakibatu, hazihi al-hakibatu. When I say al, I would have to introduce a pronoun in there. Now, in consideration for hazihi, is it a feminine?
Yes.
That's why
Yes.
here is used.
There is a hiya here. You follow? I hope you guys can see this, right? Like what's going on. So this is even in the Quran, there is stuff like that, right? So there is a dhamir there. And now you know why this dhamir is there, because this is a special case when in this specific case, there are more cases of other type, but when you have demonstrative pronoun as mubtada and you have the khabar as, also marifa, then you have to introduce a dhamir or a pronoun in relationship to the demonstrative pronoun. If it is mudhakkar, you have to bring mudhakkar. If it's jama, you have to bring jama. Follow? If it was haulai, then it will be hum, right? Okay, let's do the musanna one. Hazani, baitani, jamilani. These two houses are beautiful. Okay, look at this one. Hazanil, baitani, jamilani. What's the difference? These two houses are beautiful. Hazanil, baitani mean these two houses. Is it a murakkab ishari?
Yes.
So murakkab ishari as mubtada, jamilani as khabar. In the previous first sentence, hazani mubtada, baitani jamilani, murakkab tawsifi as khabar. Can you guys see this? Okay. Very good job. So hatani shajaratani kabiratani. Now because shajara is a feminine, so the ishara we are going to use hatani. Hatani is the yes. Hatani shajaratani kabiratani. These are two big trees, right? These two are big trees. I mean, we know the meaning two. They may not say two in the wording, but over here, these two are big trees. Shajaratani, kabiratani, we don't say two trees too big. We just say big trees. But the hatani is giving us the meaning of these two are big trees. Now look at this one. Hatani shajaratani. Tani become murakkab ishari?
Yes.
Okay. These two trees are big, right? These two trees are big because the khabar is kabiratani. So murakkab ishari as our mubtada in the second sentence. Okay. Now, I want to give one more detail. And I think I'm going to stop here for now. Let's see if I can get my camera back online. All right. Can you guys see the camera now?
Yes.
All righty then. Okay. Now this is another important concept. If you guys get it, that would be great. If I say Haza, Haza Muslimun. What is the meaning of Haza Muslimun?
This is a Muslim. This is a Muslim.
This is a Muslim. Okay. If I say Hazani Muslimani, what does that mean?
These two are two Muslims.
These two are Muslims, right? Okay. If I say Haulai Muslimuna, yeah? Got it so far? So far, so good? Okay. Now look at this. If I say Haza Kalamun, what does that mean? This is a pen?
This is the pen.
Okay. Hazani Kalamani. These two are pen, right? These two are pens. Okay. So if I say, what is the jama of kalam?
Aqlamun.
Right? So technically, I'm supposed to say ha ulai.
Hadihi.
Yeah, wait a second, brother Nasib. So ha ulai aklamun. Yes. If I follow the same pattern.
Yes.
Correct? So if I say haulai aklamun, is haulai for humans or non-humans?
Non-human.
So who remembers the concept of akil and ghair akil? Yeah? We said akils are the human, jinn, angels. Yes? Everything else is ghair akil. Okay. So is aklamun akil or ghair akil?
Ghair akil.
Okay. Now, this is not a new concept, but I'm just now specifying it in more detail. That remember, we said whenever we have a jama of ghair akil, what kind of ishara we use?
Female. Singular.
So we use hazihi aklamun. That's what Brother Nasib was saying. He said, it will not be haulai aklamun, it will become hazihi aklamun. Is that clear now why we have hazihi? Because aklam is a jama of a ghair aqil. And for that, you will use the feminine singular ishara. Okay. If this was a far one, then it will become tilka aklamun. Is tilka for the feminine? Or is it? No, not tilka. It will be tilka is for feminine. Yeah, that's right. Tilka. Aklam. Yeah, aklam. So I hope that there's a lot of new information here today, but it is all very valuable information. Agree?
Yeah. It was ghair akil and broken plurals, correct?
Yes, the broken plurals and ghair akil.
जल रहे हैं देखो जल रहे हैं
Brother
थोड़ा
Ijaz.
जब प्रेस
Okay. So now, any questions or any comments before I move on? Because I'm sure that you guys, your brain is now working and you got some new information and you need to digest it. But alhamdulillah, it is all very good information, and you will find it more and more beneficial now when you read the Quran, inshallah. Yeah? Any quick comments? Any one of you, just, quick, speak on behalf of the whole Jama'ah. Or let me ask Brother Faiz. Brother Faiz, any comments,
I have a
please?
question to ask too.
Go ahead, Brother Fahad.
So I know you said that there are only 4 different types of Murakkabāt, which are nāqiṣ. But I was wondering, what is zarf, like fawqa al-bayti?
Those are a special kind of mudaf. So they will become murakkab.
Oh, they're part of mudaf. Okay.
Yes, okay. Yes, that's right. Yes. Okay, so inshallah, there is a lot of interesting stuff, available for us to explore in the future. But the issue I'm dealing with right now, I'm trying to get all the little things out of the way, because if we are stumbling on the very little introductory stuff, if I start to introduce more complex information, then your mind will go, in different direction. So review, practice, and, talking to each other and passing on the information to other people is very, very important in retaining this information. So it should also give you a little wake-up call that, hey, you know what, if I need to progress in this, I have to put in some time. I have to go back and review, and I have to focus and, try to give like with a microscope and look little details here. These little dhammas, little harakas change, and then how you combine the word, they change the meaning altogether. Agree? And again, if you are not paying attention to these things, you are going to change the meaning of the Quran. Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So another message you need to tell yourself that, you know what, even though it's hard, but in order to do justice with the Quran and to do justice to myself, I need to really understand what these little details make, what kind of differences they bring into the picture, right? So Brother Faiz, since I asked you the last time for a feedback, give me your quick feedback on this, that how do you took the lesson today, and what is causing you confusion at the moment?
The only thing that is causing me a little bit of confusion is, like, for example, when you showed us the comparison between Muslim and Qalam, and then because it was ghair aqil, I had to use a non-living feminine ishara. I guess those are just things we have to know and memorize, because those are special rules, right? There's and so I guess that's the only thing that seems a little overwhelming right now.
That's okay. That's right. But let's see, I give you an example from the work environment. When you are working in a place for so many years, and then some junior employee comes, and then you start to give him the details, and they probably pick up 50-60%, but then one day they get stuck on something, and that is a gotcha or some special rule which you knew or you told him, but he never paid attention to, or you really have to spell it out for him and you have to guide them 2 or 3 times, right? But then as they progress in their employment, they start to pick up those things, and then
well, that's a good example. I live that example every day, so I know exactly what you're saying.
So again, why it comes to me easy, because first of all, I have a responsibility as a teacher to be on top of things, because you're going to ask me question regardless. You will forget my statement on day 1 that I'm not a scholar, I'm just a normal man like you, but I'm always under the microscope, because you're going to ask me all the tough questions, and I have to have some answer for you, and have to be a logical answer, right? So because I do this day in, day out, and I practice and I prepare, so I have a little bit better memory than you guys, and I have, because I can call it quickly than you. But I'm trying to bring all of you up to speed, and that's why taking this time to keep injecting you with this idea to focus, ponder, think, and, try to write it down and then ask each other. Remember earlier, some time ago, we had a plan that we're going to make a buddy system. I don't know you guys made that or not, but having a buddy in your life where you can study Arabic or whatever, then it takes you to the next level. Yeah. But don't be afraid. We didn't know this information yesterday. Today we have it. And whether we have it 100% or not, at least we are now aware of it. Yes?
Yes.
It will not skip you. Next time when you look at it, your mind will bring it back to you, and you will probably one day, with experience and more practice, you will get it. Yeah.
I think the key is practice. If we start trying to speak, trying to review, then it just becomes natural. Doing it once a week, and that's the reality. Is we get busy with life, and then we look at this. Obviously, you struggle. The thing is to try it more.
So these incidents or this kind of awakening should ask you. You should ask a question to yourself. When I'm doing this, I'm mashallah spending 2 hours of my weekly time into this. Do I want to gain the maximum benefit, or I just want to stay on the surface and just keep in the shallow waters? Now, that question or that desire should come from within you. Now you have been exposed to something you can really move forward into. So how much effort, jitna gur dalenge utna meetha hoga, right? I'm speaking Urdu now. But the more sweet you put into something, the sweeter it's going to get, correct? So now your question is, how much I want to connect with Arabic, how much I want to extract from Arabic. And for that, you make your own measurement, how much time I need to put into this thing. Yeah. So for me, I can give you a quick example of, I went to Islamabad on vacation, and I went to the local masjid there. And the imam, from Pakistani standard, he was a villager. If you look at him, you will probably not even take him as an imam. You will judge him because his appearance or his jargon or his vocabulary, whatever it was, you will feel that, oh, he might not know much. So every salah, he will sit down and he will open the Quran and he will start reading Arabic, and word for word, without looking at any dictionary or any translation, he would tell the whole verse after verse into plain Urdu for the people who were sitting there. And that day, one thing I got out of there is that someday I want to be the same way. I want to be able to pick up the Quran and not only read it myself, I should also be able to explain it to somebody who's sitting right next to me, word for word. And then the actual tafseer and the deep knowledge of Quran always help, because language is one thing, but the knowledge of the subject matter, the context when it was revealed and all the other things really add value to your knowledge. Agree? Yeah? Yes. So make your own intentions, make your own goals, make your own benchmark that where do you want to be with this. The resources are there, the energy is there, the mind is fresh, and even at old age, you only lose 3% of your brain cells. So don't give yourself this excuse that, oh, I'm old or I can't do it now. So that's no such thing exists. Okay, so now let's quickly read some verses from the Quran to get some message. And since Ramadan is coming, we want to motivate ourselves so that we are ready for the Ramadan, inshallah. So this is from Surah Al-Imran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم كل نفس ذائقة الموت. Every nafs, zaika, will taste al-maut. Now people from India, Pakistan, we know what zaika mean, right? But when we think about zaika, we think about food, right? So here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, reminding us that every soul, nafs, zaikatul maut, will taste the death. Wa innama tuwaffuna ujurakum. And only you will be paid in full. Tawaffuna. Ujurakum. Ujurakum is your reward. Ajar kya hota hai? Ajar is reward, right? So ujur is the jama of ajr, and kum, you all. You will be paid in full. Your reward, yawm al-qiyamah. So on the day of judgment, every soul will be paid in full their reward on the day of judgment. Now, this is the statement which should keep us awake at night, or should at least help us, change our ways in life so that we can avoid this. So, faman zuhziha anin nari, that then whoever is drawn away, faqad faz, meaning that a person who has been, or a nafs who has been saved from the fire and has been entered and admitted to Jannah, faqad faz. Faqad is, then surely he is successful. This one word faz is, if you look at the deep meaning, this is a big word for us, because the ultimate success is that when a Muslim or a person, a nafs, enters into Jannah and the doors of Jannah behind him are closed forever, so there is no exit. Until we enter that door of Jannah, we are going to struggle and not take it easy, because we could go the other way. So this one sentence makes my day, that, okay, I want to be among these people, but in order to get there is not an easy path. فَمَنْ زُحْزِهَا عَنِ النَّارِ وَأُدْخِلَ الْجَنَّةَ فَقَدْ فَازَ. Then whoever is drawn away from the fire and admitted to paradise, surely he or she is successful. وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَتَاعُ الْغُرُورِ. And not the life of this world except enjoyment, delusion. Do I need to explain this to you guys, that what this hayat dunya mata al-ghurur mean? That this is a temporary word of enjoyment, but at the same time is very, very delusional. Yeah. Now, if we get stuck in this dunya and only in the dunyavi matters, then do you think that our other home, which is supposed to be in the akhirah, will get anything out of it? No. So what do we need to do? Create a balance, and all our efforts are to achieve this zuhziha anin nar, that we should be striving so that with Allah's mercy, we are the people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala free us from the fire, and on the other hand, enter us into the Jannah. Only then we will feel that we are successful people. Okay. Now, in order to do that, or in the life of dunya, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to us, La tublawunna. And when you have this style of word that has a lot of stress and emphasis, that you will certainly be tested. Tublawunna. Tubla mean you will be tested. In what? Fi amwalikum. Now, by the way, I think you know these words now. Amwal is the jama of mal. Mal is your wealth. Amwal, mal ki jama hai amwal. Kum of kum. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be surely testing in your wealth and yourselves. وَلَا تَسْمَعُنَّ مِنَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ. And you will certainly hear from those who were given the book from before you. وَمِنَ الَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا. Now, what is the difference between the Utul Kitaba wa Ashraku? Utul Kitaba is the Ahlul Kitab. Who are those two groups? Nasara and Yahud. Right? And who's وَمِنَ الَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا? The disbelievers who associated partners with Allah. Azan kasira. Hurtful things many. What does that mean? Do you guys understand what that means? And you will hear certainly from the people of the book from before you and the people who associate partners with Allah, lot of hurtful things. Do we experience that on a daily basis?
Yes.
Isn't the whole world seems to be against our religion and Islam and Muslims? Do we hear hurtful things, or do we go through difficult times because of this ayah, like whatever the ayah is explaining to us? So in that case, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَإِن تَصْبِرُوا. And if you are patient, وَتَتَّقُوا, and you fear Allah, فَإِنَّ ذَلِكَ مِنَ الْأَزْمِ الْأُمُورِ. Then indeed, that is a matter of determination. So in these conditions, in order to stay patient and still follow the path of Allah, this is not an easy matter. This kind of matter needs a lot of determination. Okay, so you will surely be tested in your possessions and in yourselves, and you will surely hear from those who were given the scripture before you, and from those who associate others with Allah much abuse. But if you are patient and fear Allah, the conditions are that you have to stay patient and fear Allah. But Allah himself is saying that I'm asking you to be patient and fear Allah, fear me, but indeed that is a matter worthy of determination. ये बड़ी हिम्मत के काम है. You need a lot of courage for these two things, to be steadfast and to be patient in rough times or bad times when everything seems to be going against you. Yeah. So over here, there is some tafseer here. We don't have the time to go over it. However, I'm sure you can read it, and you should read it. So the believer is tested and hears grieving statements from the enemy. Encapsulate the message in this 1 or 2 verses we looked at. The first thing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, don't worry, or it's a fact that every soul will taste death. Nobody will escape death. Whether you are a king or you are a poor man, death, or you're a messenger, or you are a simple person, everybody, every soul which lived once on this earth or in the skies, they will taste death. And you will be paid in full your reward on the day of Qiyamah. So we should be worried about this accountability on the day of Qiyamah. And we will be totally, completely successful if we were drawn away from the fire and we have been admitted into Jannah. That is the true success. And on the same side, we should know that this dunyavi life, the world of this dunya, is nothing but temporary enjoyment and is a delusion. Because if we get engulfed in this dunyavi life, then it can, take us away completely, and we can become, we just get, engulfed in it and forget about everything else. So we need to create this balance. And for that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that we will test you. You think that you will get Jannah just by saying La ilaha illallah? No. The people before you were tested to the point that they were shaken. They were shaken, and they spelled out, where is the help of Allah? Even the messengers start claiming, where is the help of Allah, or when the help of Allah will come? So this is the promise, and this is our promise of Allah, and also our purpose to be on this piece of land, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send us here for ibadah. And during this time, He will certainly test us with our wealth and ourselves, and we will at the same time face the negativity and the enmity of people, and not from people even from the people who know the knowledge. They are the Ahlul Kitab. They are the one who knows before us that Allah is one, and there are messengers who came to guide them. But still, we will hear hurtful things and pain from them. And in those conditions, if we are patient and we still fear Allah, that is the solution to the problem. But in order to exercise these things, it is not easy. It requires a lot of determination. So I hope that we got the message, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for steadfastness, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us with this month of Ramadan and another year of this blessed month, so that we can clean ourselves, we can ask forgiveness of our sins, and we can do best of ibadah. Ta'ala, we ask Him to enter us Jannah without any accountability, because we know that our actions are not sufficient or enough to enter Jannah. Only His mercy and His rahmah will help us enter Jannah. So Jazakallah khairan. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika wa nashhadu la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi.